So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to find matches and the opposite of matches. So for example, here we have some customers with reps. And so I'm going to show you how to find all customers where the rep matches any one or more of these reps. And this could be reps, it could be numbers, IDs, etc. And we're also going to show you the inverse. And so basically this same list, but exclude these names. And so we'll show you how that works with some sales and what was shipped to get the ship sales and what still remains to be shipped. So let's start with this demo real quick here with a simple use case. And so let's just start with this first one. So we're going to use filter formula for all of these. And then we're going to select our source data that we want to display. And then we're going to use what's called a match function inside that. And then we're going to pick our column. So for example, our rep that we're going to match against our list of reps. And so then I can select this list here, comma 0, and this is it. And so here's our source data that we're going to reference. And then for our match, the one thing you want to make sure is inside this match, we use that column from the original data first. And so we'll reiterate this when we go into sales and stuff like this. Let me build this one more time just so you can refresh here. So select our source data, match, and then again from the same source data and make sure it's the same number of rows. Then we can match to what we're matching to, 0, and close it out. And there we go. So now we have Katie and Wayne. So if we replace one of these, you'll see this updates correctly. Now, what if we want to do the inverse? And so instead of matching what we have here, we want to match everything but those. And so in that case, we're going to use this same formula. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy it, come over here, and then what we're going to do is an A. And what this is going to do is going to flip it around. It's going to find everything but those two names. So there you can see, just like that. So again, we could switch this to Wayne, and you'll see both of those flips. So now Katie and Wayne, and now instead of Wayne over here, it's Daniel, Violet, and Simon. All right, so that's how we do that simple match or do not match. And so let's look at a couple different scenarios. So in this case, this first one, we're using a unique one here, this rep that's going to be unique for each one. And so, for example, we don't have multiple different Katies. Now, what happens if we come down here and we have multiple Jacks? And so if we try to do the same thing as in this case, we're going to have some inconsistent results. So what would we do? So we can open our filter and we want to filter this where both of these match both of those. And so we can use our match. And then what we're going to have to do is for our search key, we're going to have to take both of these. And what I'm going to use is an ampersand to combine these columns. So that way it's going to be Jack Brown, Jack Johnson, Jack Taylor, Jack Smith. And then I can match it to this one. And so again, I'm going to combine those with an ampersand, 0, and close that out. And there you go, Jack Taylor and Jack Smith. And to make sure we got this correct, let's copy this, come over here. And all we have to do is add this is NA before the match. And there you go. It's now Jack Johnson and Jack Brown. So if we change this to Brown, we should see those flip-flop, and there we go. So you can use this in any form. So for example, here I have a different example just to show you how we can modify this. And so filter, I'm going to select this range, and then we do our match. And so one thing we're going to have to do, if I just do this, ampersand this, and then match it to this, for example, and 0, I'm going to have 0 matches. So why is that? And let me pull this out just so you can see. This is going to help you if you need to do different kinds of use cases. And so this isn't showing all of them right now. It's just showing the top one. So when we look at this here, Jack Brown has no space. So let me first of all put this in array formula so it does the whole thing. And this is basically what's feeding into this filter and match. So we have Jack Brown, Jack Johnson, Jack Taylor, Jack Smith, but there's no space. So the way we'd compensate for this is add another ampersand, double quotes, and a space in between, hit enter, and now it's showing up correctly. And the reason why, we pull this out again, this time I'm going to put an array formula from the get-go. Now we have a space in between. So you can use this logic when you have different things you need to combine, or maybe you have a column like this where it's not unique, and so you can't just match Jack, you have to match multiple. You can use those ampersands, and if you need to add spaces or if you need to add something else to make it match what's going on. And if you're struggling, go ahead and put this whole thing in an array formula, and then you can kind of compare and see what's happening and why it's not matching. And so let's go ahead and take this, finish this out. And then again is NA, and wrap that up. And there we go. So that's how we get the match and do not match. So now let's take a look at this and look at if we have a little bit more data going on here, how we would match this to our list of sales reps. So this looks very familiar, right? This is what we're doing here. We just have a little bit more data that we're working with. So what we do is filter and go to our sales tab and then select all of our data that we want to pull back, comma. And then next we need to do our match. And then again, from here, we need our sales rep column. So the table reference is automatically changing it from what would be sales, exclamation point, and then C5. It's automatically making it this whole column. And that will be fine. And so let's do comma, come back here, and we can select those reps, 0, and close that out. And so now here we can see Katie, Wayne, Wayne, and Katie. So if we change this to Daniel, you can see now it's doing that. And so again, if we want to flip-flop this and make this do not match, we're going to add that is NA, and there we flipped it around. So now Katie and Daniel are being excluded from this list. So that's how that works. And then let's finally wrap up with shipped and not shipped. So here we have a list of shipped. You can see we don't have all the data. We just have the name and when it was shipped. So we want to take this list of sales and pull it through to, is it shipped or does it still need to be shipped? And so here we're going to do our filter and go back to our source data, which is our sales. Select the whole thing. And then we're going to do our match. And we're going to do our name field this time. And make sure we go all the way down. You notice this time it's not going to the table reference. So you can leave it either way. If you want to go to the table reference, you can. In which case you do sales, and this would be customer name. Or you can leave it to that sales, and then it'd be A2 to E, and sales, and this would be B2 to B, and then come back over here, and what we're going to do is match this to our list of names here. So again, we can do the same thing here, like this, or we can use that table name, and I'll show you that here in a second. Make sure we add our 0 here at the end of the match, and there we go. There is our shipped sales. And so if we copy this, go to be shipped, and then we're going to do again is NA, match, and finish that out. So there's the one that is not shipped. So we can copy this and check here, and sure enough, that's not showing up. So this is the only one that needs to be shipped out of our sales so far. And then if more sales get added, we'll see them get added there. And so let me just add 1625. We'll call this Jack Taylor, and we'll put it to Katie, and let's select finance and 2500. And so that should show up on to be shipped. And there we go. All right, so that is it for today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe if this video is helpful for you, and check out the other videos on our channel for more tutorials on both Google Sheets and AppScript. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.